Who is Alec Benjamin?
Okay, Alec Benjamin is a human being, and I live on planet Earth, and I like to make music and write songs, and I'm often I have pretty high anxiety, and I don't know, I'm just like I don't know, just like a regular person, you know, just a dude.
Just a regular dude who makes German girls lined up for him waiting outside.
Yeah, but you know, that's
No pressure.
No, I'm not. I mean, they're here. I think that what they relate to in my music is that I'm just like pretty average, and I just talk about like regular stuff that everyone understands, you know. So I don't think they're here to see me and be like, oh my god, like, you know, I'm not above anybody.
No, we'll see tonight.
Oh well,
We'll see tonight.
I've seen it a bunch of times and I know what it's like. So
Okay,
it's very
okay.
tame.
What I like about your music is that it's a very interesting blend because well, at least for me, one half of it is teenage angst, all of the teenage, you know, things we always relate, even if we're not teenagers anymore. And then the other half is like this old soul speaking through the speakers, talking to us, like like you're half eternal teenager and half an old soul. Is that how you feel like? Because it's completely different things.
When I wrote this album of like this batch of songs, at least, part of that was written while I was signed to a different record label, and I got dropped from the label, and I couldn't release the songs. And so when I signed to a new label, I wasn't ready to let go of some of the old songs that I wrote when I was a teenager. So I kept some of those and I put them on the album. And then the half of it where it's like I maybe feel like a little bit more mature. That's like those are mostly songs that I wrote in the last couple years. So that's why. But I do feel like a kid still, especially like in this job, you know, and you spend so much time around like kids, you know. So it's like
it's a great feeling.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling. Were you already approached to sing at a wedding?
Well, my friend Miles is getting married on September 1st, and I'm gonna sing at his wedding. Hopefully, if he wants me to. If not, that's okay. But I sang at my sister's wedding, so
You already did.
I've already done
Was it good?
I think it was okay. I think it was more about her. So, but I think I did a fine job. Yeah.
Because I interviewed Joshua Radin recently,
he's great.
and he was like, I hate doing weddings, but you know, when Ellen asked me to do the wedding, of course I had to.
Okay.
So I mean, you have like a favorite celebrity you would like to play a wedding at? Potentially.
Weddings make me uncomfortable, so maybe not. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe divorce party.
Yeah, no, I'd play at a birthday party maybe, but I don't know who it would be.
Talking about weddings, love, and all of that, what's the best love song of all time? It can be yours.
No, I don't. Not mine. I don't know. I think "Someone Like You" by Adele is a pretty amazing breakup song. I would say that's a love song.
Every breakup song essentially is a.
I love that song by The Cure. Whenever I'm alone with you. What song is that? I'll always love you. I forgot what it's called.
I don't remember the name, but I know exactly
Yeah,
the song.
that song
I'll
is
add it in
amazing.
the.
Yeah.
In the transcription. What's the weirdest scenario where you received a lyric? I don't know how you say it. Like when you thought of a lyric. What was the weirdest situation? You were in the train, in the shower.
Maybe sometimes when I'm in the shower, I think of words, but it's usually just somebody in passing saying something, and then you think about it, and you're like, oh, that's kind of poetic, and then you just take it. But it's mostly just in passing conversation. Could be it could be an interview. It could be anything, you know.
Okay, well, you do let me know if
Yeah,
if this ends up, you know, if you
you.
get inspired by to write like a Russian lullaby or something.
Okay, I will.
They can be really cool.
All right.
Yeah, they can work. I can help you with some Russian words
Sounds good.
to put into this. Are you writing while you're touring, or you need to be in a
Yeah, I
certain?
wrote a song this morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can share it probably.
I can share it. I can play it for you after.
Well, okay, good. Okay, we're off the record. But generally, what inspires you? Because I mean, being on tour is such a hectic time. It's crazy. Probably you meet so many people. You never sleep enough. I guess you eat tons of chocolate.
I don't know what inspires me, but maybe finding music that has meaning and finding people that write about things from an interesting perspective, one that I haven't heard before, because everybody experiences generally the same things. It's pretty rare that you find someone who's encountered something totally bizarre, you know, or new.
Maybe like a Russian cosmonaut.
Yeah,
like
yeah, exactly.
Astronaut, I mean, yeah,
but I
something
was
like
gonna
that.
say someone who goes to Mars or something like that. But like, I think we all feel the same feelings of adventure and stuff. So it's like someone describing it through, in a way, when what makes a song unique, I think, is when someone writes about it in a way that you wouldn't have thought of, or someone's perspective is interesting. Yeah, so that.
Talking about interesting perspectives, you do have an interesting perspective on Bible.
Okay.
Let's talk about Steve.
Sure.
The reason I'm asking is that Did anybody give you any slack for talking about religion? Why I'm asking,
Not
because in
really.
Russia it's kind of a taboo.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, that's kind of like the whole Pussy Riot thing was because they
Right.
performed in the church. So I was just thinking that if, up and coming singer-songwriter would make his own twist on Bible and release it as a pop song, would it work in Russia? And to be honest, like, I wouldn't advise this person to do that in Russia, like a Russian person.
Right.
You're fine because it's in English. But
Right.
did anything like that occur to you, or it's completely different in America?
I don't think anybody really cares. I don't think it was controversial, and also the song is not about actually about the Bible. It's more of like me just talking about I think that it's an interesting story, and that story is pretty indicative of things that happen in my life. Like I always, even when I have everything that I need, I always want something else, and that's that reaching for that one other thing that usually makes the whole thing fall apart. So in a way I relate to it, but I'm not I haven't really figured out who I am as far as what I believe, God or whatever. I'm still I'm pretty open, but I just thought it was an interesting story.
It is one of my favorite songs.
Oh,
so,
cool.
yeah, just listen to it today.
Thanks.
A couple of times. It's definitely, I like the melody and the words. What's the craziest thing that happened on this tour?
The craziest thing that's happened to me on my tour is not that much crazy stuff. It's pretty crazy that we're getting to tour Europe. The fact that
On a
I'm
sold out
the fact that I sold
tour.
a European tour, that's pretty crazy. So I'll take that. Yeah.
And this is your first European tour, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
because
no, it is.
solo
Yeah.
tour.
I mean, I've toured open for other people, but this is my first one. Yeah.
That's exciting. Did your fans give you anything special, crazy? Maybe share the crazy story?
They just give
interesting
me
story?
a lot of chocolate, which is great. You know what I mean? And I come home with a new box of chocolate that we all get to share, and that's cool.
You're gonna have a lot of talks at the customs with
Yeah.
all the chocolate.
No, we
probably.
finish it, so it's all good. We won't have any boxes to bring.
What do you think when you step out on stage? I mean, it's probably such an anxiety-driven question, I know, just thinking about this, but what goes through your mind or through your body, or you just go into some state of trance?
When I step out on stage, it depends on the evening, and it depends on what mood I'm in, It's interesting because, I didn't used to play this many shows in a row, and so now it's trying to deal with all of my emotions and my insecurities and my anxiety and sometimes being depressed and tired. You have to get on stage anyways. So even if you don't feel great, you got to make sure that it's a good show. But usually when I get up on stage, everything kind of goes away. I always get nervous, but I like being on stage.
Do you talk about issues like insecurities, anxieties, not just in the interviews, but directly to your fans on social media?
Totally.
You do that, yeah?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because I think nowadays artists can finally do that in the
Yeah.
last couple of years, which I think is absolutely important and amazing. Because I remember growing up, following my idols, or what, it wasn't even social media. It was, I don't know, interviews and everything. And it was they seem to have such a perfect life, and you can never, you get anxious because you're like, oh, I'm not like one of these people. I can't relate to that. So nowadays, kids can actually be, wow, I have an anxiety about exam. And my favorite singer has anxiety about performing or whatever. And I think that's very important. And I think things like this really push the pop culture forward. So I think that's amazing that you don't just do it in your music, but you also do it outside.
Okay, thanks. Yeah. Wait, I'm sorry, I got lost.
I lost the question there too, but
I have serious ADHD.
It's
So
okay.
I'll listen to something.
oh,
and
I'm
then
the
I'll
worst
just-
then. I'm the worst talker to you.
I'm yo.
Well, okay. Everyone wants to know about the new video.
Okay, cool.
Tell me, it just came out.
To be
How did
honest,
this happen? How did collaboration? She's awesome, by the
well,
way.
I just
You're awesome,
tweeted
so-
her. Oh, thanks. I just tweeted her and asked her if she wanted to work with me, and we were gonna write a new song together, but we weren't gonna be in the same city because we're both touring for a while. And so I was like, well, how about you just do a remix of my song? And she was like, I'm down. And then she sent me a vocal the next day of her verse that she wrote, and it was amazing. And I was like, let's
Very
go,
productive.
let's do it. Yeah. And so then we put the song out, and I asked her hey, do you want to make a video? And she was like, yeah, sure. So we ended up in LA at the same time. We made a video, and that was it. I have someone that I work with who helps me bring the videos and the visual stuff together, because I'm not a very visual person, so I make recordings.
Even though your
Yeah.
videos are very striking.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I have a lot of help. I don't really,
You still don't wanna
I made a couple of my own videos, when I put out some songs. I put out the song called "I Built a Friend," and I made that video, and then I made a few other of my videos. But the newer stuff is just that's not where my strengths lie, So I just focus on the music, and someone helps me bring the visual piece together. Of course, I look at everything and make sure I don't. It's cool, But
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you still refuse to act after Gabriel video?
Yeah, yes, I've tried.
Even it was, I liked it. I like a good
Okay.
thriller. So I mean,
yeah. There we go. I hate acting.
no,
I have a
no.
lot of respect for people who can act. It's an art that I am not very good at. Yeah.
Talking about the art of rapping, you recently
Yeah.
covered Eminem, but will
Yeah.
you ever go full on rap? Maybe just for one song, maybe for an EP.
No.
No?
I don't think so.
Maybe acoustic rap.
I can't say no, but I don't think so.
A very crazy question I have, which I recently asked Billie Eilish, and she lost it. So
Did you meet her?
yeah, not recently, like exactly a year ago in
Okay,
Stockholm. It's exactly the same situation, like small
Cool.
venue, people outside, so good crowd. I asked her what was her favorite celebrity mugshot. So what is yours?
My favorite celebrity mugshot
I
is
think
probably
anybody.
Justin Bieber.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah,
one.
Justin
Mine's
Bieber.
Paris Hilton because
Yeah.
I'm from that era when it was like
I think I saw Justin Bieber's on his Instagram. He posted the other day his mugshot. And he was like, "I never want to go back to jail ever. It's not cool." And for me, I was like, "That's cool that he posted that." You know, it's like he didn't glorify it. He was like, "It sucked."
well yeah, go figure.
So maybe that's why his is my favorite. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a top 3 artists? Maybe top 3 artists at the moment.
John Mayer, Chris Martin from Coldplay, and Eminem.
It's a good trio.
Yeah, I have a lot more, but those are just 3 I've come to.
I imagine it to be like a super group one day.
Yeah,
of
that would be
4 of
sick.
you.
That would be sick.
That can be a good
I'm
sold
down.
out show.
I'll ask him.
Okay, yeah, I'll put it. Do you have a favorite quote? Maybe from movie, song, book,
No.
parents?
My dad used to say, "Never give up, never surrender." That's from like a Bruce Willis movie, so dope. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good. He's a good guy to
Yeah.
to quote. Do you keep a diary, like an actual diary?
No, just for lyrics. Just write lyrics out.
Did you ever?
No,
So I was sure you was gonna say yes.
I
I write every day.
I don't.
How do you keep track of all the experiences you get, or just like it's all in your head on your phone or your
I just-
heart?
I think it's just in my head, and then I just, hopefully wait for a trigger for, like, it's a smell or something to trigger a memory, and then I write about a memory. Something like
Mhm.
that. Yeah.
That's a good way of doing it. Talking about superheroes
Okay.
or supervillains, which
Mhm.
one do you ever imagine yourself as?
Probably neither. I don't think I'm, like, all good, and I don't think I'm, like, all bad. So I'm probably just regular. I'm just, like, I'll just be, like, an innocent bystander. I'm not, like... That's kind of what I am, though. It's like I'm neither. I just like the narrator. I just like tell the story. You know, I'm just the bystander. I just watch.
But there
I'll
would
just
be
be a journalist.
There would,
Yeah.
well, I mean, a lot of them were journalists.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
Peter
true.
Parker,
Yeah.
Superman, so I can relate to that part.
Yeah.
I can't relate to Six-Pack part, to saving the world. But,
Same.
writing, narrating, yeah, I feel ya. Are you a big movie buff in general?
Well, I'm sort of. I like movies and I appreciate them for what they are, but I don't watch that many movies. But go on. What were you gonna say?
What's your favorite?
Forrest Gump.
So
Yeah.
if you were ever to live inside a movie, that's a movie where you would want to live inside.
If I were to live inside a movie, it'd probably be a comedy, just because I feel like that's like Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump, that's like a very bittersweet movie. There's a lot of tragedy, even though there's a lot of happiness. There's a lot of tragedy in that movie. So if I were to live inside a movie, it'd be a movie that's funny all the time. Yeah.
But no, like concrete example.
No.
Kind of comedy.
Maybe super bad. I don't know.
That's
yeah.
a good, that's a good, yeah, I think that would be fun. Project X or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
Yeah, that could work. How much do you actually love chicken noodle soup?
I do. I used to. Not anymore. But
When
I
you,
do, yeah.
So that's how we know that it's an old song.
Yeah, canned
Okay.
soup is not like. Yeah, I don't love it.
So now you switched over to chocolate.
Yeah.
European chocolate. That's a good
Yeah,
switch.
there's a lot of good stuff in here.
You have a whole bowl. I love it. It's a good well, what's the most rock and roll thing you've ever done? Maybe ate a whole bottle.
I'm not like a super rock and roll kind of person, but yeah, probably I don't know. I can't really think of a rock and roll thing that I've done. I guess just like playing shows and making music, and I had a song on the Billboard Hot 100 for the first time. To me, like that's pretty rock and roll.
That's literally rock and roll,
That's
yeah.
cool.
And I think a true rock star, he would never be, thinking like, oh, I've done that rock and roll thing. He would just be casually, dropping something crazy and doing
Right.
something. So
Right.
that's I like the attitude. If I meet you at a party, what would you be doing?
I probably wouldn't be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
You would be in another, house writing, playing
Yeah.
guitar. What's a correct way of letting somebody down slowly?
I think just being super honest with them and telling them the truth, and just being like clear about why it didn't work, and just being appreciative. I don't know, like people like when you're gonna like break up. Well, I mean, unless someone did something bad to you, but if you're breaking up with somebody and their intentions were good, but they just weren't the right person for you, I think like it's good to just tell someone that. Like, thanks for, I'm really flattered. But
did you ever try breaking up with somebody in a poem or a song?
No.
That would be
I
fun.
haven't really been with that many people, so it has opportunity hasn't really presented itself, but maybe at some point.
Yeah, I mean, look at Adele, you know, she's a
Yeah.
good inspiration. Did you actually build a friend? Were you a
No.
nerdy teenager?
No,
like that?
just the song. Yeah, the song was just a song. Yeah,
I
I didn't.
love